Hey guys, and welcome to your 2-Minute Money Manager. I'm your host, Stacey Johnson, and this answer is brought to you by MoneyTalksNews.com, serving up the best in personal finance news and advice since 1991. Today's question comes to us from Richard. Richard says, I'm 40, I've got 2 kids. I've been checking out life insurance lately, and one of my friends told me I'm much better off getting a permanent insurance policy rather than a term insurance policy. What's your opinion? Well, Richard, first of all, you're right to consider life insurance. It's a great way to protect your family in the event of your untimely death, especially when you got young kids. But should you get term life or whole life, also known as permanent? It's an argument that's been going on for decades, and I can promise you, because I've been in it for that long. But let's explore, starting with the difference between term and permanent life insurance. Term insurance insures your life for a certain term, hence the name. Like, in other words, you're going to insure yourself for 5, 10, 20 years. Permanent life insurance, on the other hand, as the name implies, you theoretically keep until you die. Which is best? Well, consider how people typically use insurance. What they typically do is, like Richard, they buy it when they're young and when they have young kids that need protection in case of their death. So the idea is to provide for your family if you should die. But now when you get to be about 60, when you get to be about my age, your kids are grown. They're on their own, and the need for insurance is fading away. And this is why term insurance is right for most people. As they reach the end of the term and the insurance starts getting expensive, which it does when you get older, well, you don't need it anymore. So they drop it. They let it run. Now, with term insurance, the only way you're going to get paid, though, the only way you're going to get any money is you have to die first. Like with your car, home, or health insurance, it's really just protection. It's not an investment, right? So as the name suggests, permanent insurance, though, is a policy that you intend to keep permanently. Part of your monthly premiums are paying for the death benefit, but another part of those premiums is going into an internal savings account. With a permanent policy, you don't have to die to get money out because you're building cash value in that savings account component of the policy. This type of insurance could be considered an investment. Now, you might be thinking, since whole life or permanent insurance comes with an investment account and it's bound to pay off sooner or later, it's a better deal, isn't it? Well, not necessarily, and you can probably guess why. Because it costs a lot more. One example I recently read, 30-year-old healthy non-smoking man can get a $1 million 20-year term life insurance policy for about $500 a year. But that same guy buying the same $1 million policy in a permanent policy might pay $10,000 a year. See how big difference in price. Now, granted, it's building some cash value. But the question is this the best possible use of your extra cash? In other words, it's an investment, but is it a great investment? There's a common expression among many financial advisors: buy term and invest the difference. In other words, instead of putting 10 grand into a permanent policy every year, pay $500 for a term policy, then invest that $9,500 difference into something else, like maybe a stock mutual fund with lower expenses. And that's really why I'm dissuading you from permanent life, because these policies often have a lot of fees and administrative expenses, and that makes them less efficient as an investment than other potential choices. Bottom line, Richard, I think you're better off with term. I hope that answered your question. And now, I've got one last favor to ask of you guys. If you're watching me on YouTube, do me a favor, click the subscribe button below. It only takes a second, ain't gonna hurt you, and it's gonna help me. If you're watching me at MoneyTalksNews.com, what you really want to do is sign up for my free, awesome newsletter. Just click the newsletter button in the nav bar above. I'm Stacey Johnson. I'm going to see you all right here next time.